Today, we're going to explore how biblical principles and the insightful teachings of C.S. Lewis can truly transform our lives. There's something incredibly powerful about embracing these ideas. They have the potential to shift your outlook and enhance your life in meaningful ways. Over the course of just 1 week, I started incorporating these timeless lessons into my everyday life. And I want to emphasize that this isn't just a list of typical advice. These are sincere and heartfelt practices that have emerged from my own journey of faith and understanding. I've faced obstacles, enjoyed successes, and ultimately experienced an amazing transformation. I'm excited to share how these teachings have positively impacted my life, and I genuinely believe they can spark significant changes for you as well. Whether your goal is to boost your productivity, improve your mental health, or simply create a more uplifting daily routine, these principles can lead you in that direction. So grab your favorite drink and get comfortable as we dive into this discussion. You'll want to hear the insights I'm about to share. These are practical steps, not just theoretical concepts, that you can start applying right away. I'll also share personal stories from my journey, providing an honest look at how adopting these habits has transformed my day-to-day life. Let's kick things off with the first lesson, the importance of getting up early. I have to admit, I was never really a morning person. My bed felt like a refuge, and the snooze button was my constant ally. For a long time, my mornings felt chaotic and left me feeling unprepared as I rushed into my day. However, I decided to change this by committing to waking up early, and it turned out to be a life-changing decision. I started setting my alarm for 5 a.m. The first few days were tough. Getting out of my cozy blankets was a struggle, and I often questioned if it was worth it. But as I kept at it, I noticed something wonderful happening. By day 3, I began to appreciate the stillness of the early morning, a peaceful time filled with promise before everyone else awoke. In those quiet hours, I discovered the chance to engage in activities I had previously thought impossible with my hectic schedule. I began doing some light exercise, nothing intense, just stretches or a quick jog through my neighborhood. This gentle movement not only helped wake me up, but it also energized me for the day ahead. I also set aside time for meditation and self-reflection, inspired by Philippians 4:6-7, which tells us not to worry about anything, but to bring our concerns to God through prayer and gratitude. C.S. Lewis frequently highlighted the value of being disciplined and intentional in our lives. He believed that our habits, including how we start our mornings, can help us move toward a more virtuous life. By embracing these ideas, I discovered a newfound clarity and purpose, allowing me to align my days with a deeper understanding of what it means to live with faith and authenticity. As we continue this journey, let's dive deeper into these teachings to see how they can enrich our lives as we aim to live out their wisdom. Taking time to reflect can greatly improve our mindset and productivity. One surprising benefit of waking up early has been the removal of that hurried feeling. With enough time to enjoy a healthy breakfast, sip a cup of coffee leisurely, and plan my day thoughtfully, I found that starting slowly positively impacted my entire day. I felt more organized, experienced less stress, and gained a significant sense of control over my time. One unforgettable moment was when I watched the sunrise from my balcony. The simple yet breathtaking display of colors in the sky as the world came to life filled me with peace and gratitude. That experience made me truly understand the advantages of rising early. While this habit might not work for everyone, I suggest you give it a try, even if it's just for a week. Start by waking up just 15 minutes earlier than usual and gradually increase that time. You might be surprised by the benefits. It's not just about having more hours in your day, but about using those hours to create a more mindful, intentional, and fulfilling beginning. When we think about our daily habits, we should also recognize the importance of physical activity. Regular exercise has changed my life in incredible ways. I wasn't always the most active person. I had plenty of excuses to skip workouts, like saying I'm too tired or I'll start tomorrow. Does that sound familiar? Eventually, I hit a turning point and decided to move my body every day for a week. I started small, committing just 20 minutes each day to a mix of yoga, jogging, and strength training to keep it interesting. The first few days were tough. My muscles hurt and I felt exhausted. Still, I kept reminding myself of my goal, to enhance my physical and mental health. By the fourth day, something amazing happened. I woke up feeling refreshed, my mood was lifted, and I noticed a more positive outlook. Those 20 minutes of exercise transformed into a cherished time where I could reconnect with myself, relieve stress, and boost my mood instead of merely focusing on burning calories or getting stronger. C.S. Lewis often highlighted how essential discipline and self-care are for leading a meaningful life. He famously stated, "You can make anything by writing." This idea applies just as well to physical activity. Through dedication and hard work, we can improve our lives. Just as Lewis encouraged self-reflection, we should take a moment to assess how we spend our time and energy. The Bible echoes this sentiment in 1 Corinthians 9 verse 24, where it states, "Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize." If you choose to run your race with intention, you might find that the rewards are well worth the effort. In a moment of reflection, drawing from the lessons of the Bible and C.S. Lewis, I realized I was on a transformative journey. Proverbs 3:5-6 reminds us to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, allowing me to see a deeper connection with myself and the world. This new awareness felt empowering and uplifting. As I committed to regular exercise, I noticed positive changes in my overall well-being. My posture improved and I felt stronger, something C.S. Lewis pointed out as crucial for both body and spirit. He taught that our physical being is an essential part of our whole self, a thought that resonated with me through my experiences. Exercise turned into a refuge for my mind, a space to withdraw and reconnect with my inner self, a necessary form of self-care rather than just another task. A key moment for me was when I decided to try yoga. At first, I was hesitant, concerned about my flexibility and whether it would actually help me. However, after just a few classes, I discovered pure joy in the practice. Yoga taught me to stay present, breathe intentionally, and listen to my body's signals, forging a strong mind-body connection. Adding exercise to my everyday routine helped me discover that taking care of my body greatly improved my mental well-being and happiness. It's not about being perfect, it's about doing activities that make you feel good. C.S. Lewis often discussed how important joy is in what we do, and I've come to realize that even simple movements, like dancing, hiking, or taking a quick walk, can bring joy into my life. If you're feeling stressed and don't know where to start, try to take small steps. Spend just a few minutes each day doing something active that you enjoy, and you'll see how it can change your mood and outlook on life. Now, let's talk about journaling, something I used to think was meant only for deep thinkers. I doubted I could find time for it amidst my busy life, but by taking just 10 minutes each night to write down my thoughts, I completely changed how I viewed things. With just a notebook and a pen, I began to think about my daily experiences and started to uncover my goals, fears, and dreams. This practice turned into a key part of my personal growth. It resonates with C.S. Lewis's belief that reflecting on ourselves helps us connect with who we truly are. Just like Lewis highlighted the significance of self-reflection in spiritual matters, journaling opened up pathways to deeper insights. It was eye-opening to see how looking closely at our thoughts and feelings can lead to personal growth and make our lives richer. Engaging in a thoughtful conversation with myself led to amazing realizations. I started to notice patterns in my worries and behaviors. I learned that while some things were out of my control, others offered chances for me to take action. One night, after a particularly stressful day at work, writing down what I felt allowed me to better understand my emotions. I laid out what caused my stress, how it affected me, and the ways I could handle similar situations in the future. This process of self-reflection gave me clarity and a stronger sense of control over my feelings. Keeping track of my progress also became crucial in this journey. I made it a point to write down small wins and important moments, no matter how minor they seemed. Looking back at these notes filled me with pride and encouraged me to keep pushing for improvement. I wrote about my anxiety before a big presentation, and tracked how I prepared for it. Watching my efforts unfold and seeing the positive outcome was incredibly encouraging. I also added a gratitude section to my journaling routine. Every day, I made a list of 3 things I was grateful for. This simple habit changed how I viewed life, shifting me from focusing on what I lacked to appreciating what I already had. It was a straightforward yet effective transformation that brought more positivity into my daily routine. One memorable entry detailed a surprising act of kindness from a stranger who helped me carry my heavy groceries. Writing about this moment not only deepened my sense of gratitude, but also inspired me to pass along that kindness to others. Through journaling, I discovered significant insights about myself, my dreams, fears, strengths, and weaknesses. It became a therapeutic outlet that helped me sort through the complicated feelings and thoughts we all experience. It created a judgment-free space where I could be completely honest with myself. If you haven't tried journaling yet, I highly suggest giving it a shot. Don't worry about writing perfectly or having deep thoughts. Just let your thoughts flow onto the page. Whether you write a stream of consciousness, share details from your day, or reflect on an event, allow yourself to express your feelings freely. You might be surprised by how much clarity and peace this practice can bring you. As the Bible wisely advises in Philippians 4 verse 6 to 7, don't be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, make your requests known to God. This beautifully complements the ideas of C.S. Lewis, who stressed the value of gratitude and being mindful as a way to deepen our understanding of ourselves and our connection with the divine. His thoughts remind us that acknowledging our feelings and experiences can lead to meaningful personal growth. In examining these biblical teachings and C.S. Lewis's insights, the idea of mindful consumption stands out. Many of us, myself included, often get swept away by the rush of everyday life, eating without paying much attention, grabbing food on the go while distracted by screens. It was only after taking some time to think that I realized how much this habit was affecting my well-being. Mindful eating encourages us to be fully present during meals, acknowledging both what we feel inside and what's happening around us. It prompts us to savor each bite, focusing on the flavors, textures, and even the sounds of the food we consume. This approach aligns with the biblical message in 1 Corinthians 10:31, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do it all for the glory of God. This verse underscores the importance of being intentional in our daily actions, including how we nourish ourselves. Motivated by this principle, I decided to dedicate a week to mindful eating. I transformed my dining area into a peaceful setting. I cleared the table, decorated it nicely, and removed distractions such as my phone and laptop. At first, it felt strange to be so still with my food, but it quickly turned into a soothing routine. I began each meal with deep breaths, grounding myself in the moment and becoming aware of my environment. One of the most significant changes I noticed was a deeper pleasure in my meals. As I took my time, I began to discover a richness of flavors and textures that I had previously overlooked, like the satisfying crunch of fresh vegetables and the sweet juiciness of ripe fruits, which stood out as if I were experiencing them anew. This heightened sensory experience offered a refreshing perspective on something I had once taken for granted. Moreover, I found that mindful eating helped me tune into my body's signals for hunger and fullness. By slowing down, I started to eat less while feeling more fulfilled. A remarkable change, considering I used to rush through my meals. A simple bowl of oatmeal became a moment of reflection, allowing me to appreciate the creamy texture and drizzle of honey, setting a positive tone for my day. I also noticed how various foods influenced my mood and energy. Heavily processed items left me feeling sluggish, while fresh, wholesome foods boosted my spirit. This newfound awareness of how food affects our physical and emotional states resonates with C.S. Lewis's teachings about the importance of self-reflection and the conscious choices we make. His insights encourage us to consider the spiritual aspects of our everyday practices. Mindful eating is not just about putting food in our mouths. It also involves recognizing the emotional ties we have to what we eat. By practicing this, we take care of our bodies and our minds, following the guidance of both scripture and the insights of great thinkers like C.S. Lewis. As I explored the teachings in the Bible alongside the thoughts of C.S. Lewis, I came to appreciate the importance of being mindful in all areas of life, especially regarding food. I realized that we often eat not just to satisfy hunger, but also to address our emotions. When I felt bored, stressed, or in need of comfort, I sometimes grabbed food instead of dealing with the underlying issues causing my cravings. This realization was eye-opening. Instead of automatically reaching for a snack, I began to examine my feelings. Maybe what I really needed was some quiet time, relaxation, or a meaningful chat with a friend rather than just a bag of chips. One evening after dinner, I felt a strong urge for something sweet. Instead of diving straight into dessert, I took a moment to think, was I truly hungry, or was I just trying to reward myself for making it through a tough day? Upon reflection, I realized I wasn't actually hungry, so I opted for a calming cup of herbal tea instead. This small yet significant choice highlighted the essence of mindful eating and echoed the message in 1 Corinthians 10:31, which advises, "So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do it all for the glory of God." Adopting mindfulness during meals turned out to be a transformative experience. It helped me build a healthier relationship with food, improved my digestion, and elevated my overall mood. This approach connected with the emphasis C.S. Lewis placed on living with intention. To fully enjoy life and everything it has to offer, we must engage with it thoughtfully. If you're interested in trying mindful eating, start by focusing on one meal each day. Sit down without any distractions, take a few deep breaths, and truly savor each bite. Notice the different flavors and textures, and pay attention to how the food makes you feel. You might be surprised by how this simple change can enrich your eating experience and help you reconnect with the nourishment that food provides. Next, let's talk about another important habit: reducing screen time. This habit turned out to be quite a challenge, especially in a world dominated by digital devices. It's all too easy to get sucked into the never-ending scrolling of social media or to binge-watch series for hours on end. However, I started to realize that my mental well-being, productivity, and even my sleep were suffering because of too much screen time. So I decided to create some limits and see what would happen. I set a daily restriction of 1 hour for screen time that wasn't related to work. This meant no aimless scrolling, no long YouTube sessions, and no late-night TV binges. At first, it was tough because I had developed a habit of filling every spare moment with screens. But once I committed to this change, I was amazed at how much extra time I suddenly had each day. I hadn't truly understood how much time screens were stealing from me until I cut back. With those extra hours, I found chances to participate in more meaningful activities, echoing what C.S. Lewis said about living fully and connecting deeply with the world around us. As I explored deeper into life, I returned to the teachings of the Bible and the profound insights of C.S. Lewis. This journey led me to rediscover old practices that I had forgotten. I picked up a Bible that had been gathering dust and immersed myself in its wisdom. I also grabbed a sketchbook, allowing my creativity to flow through doodles, and I even tried my hand at cooking new recipes. One evening, rather than slipping into the usual habit of watching TV after dinner, I opted for a walk in a nearby park. The fresh air, the sounds of nature, and the simple act of walking lifted my spirits, providing a refreshing contrast to the sluggishness that screens often bring. This walk became a cherished part of my day, something I looked forward to. I also noticed a significant improvement in my sleep. In the past, I would endlessly scroll on my phone, watching videos until I fell asleep, only to wake up feeling restless and drained. By reducing my screen time, especially during the hour before bed, I found it much easier to relax and truly unwind. I created a calming nighttime routine filled with enriching activities like reading scripture, focusing on Proverbs 3:5-6, which speaks about trust and guidance, meditating, or simply reflecting on the day's events. This change resulted in a more restful sleep, significantly boosting my energy levels. On a personal level, stepping away from the endless flow of social media notifications and comparisons cleared my mind. I felt less stressed and more focused on the present. My conversations became more meaningful. I became more aware of the people around me and my daily activities were filled with engagement. It was as if a thick fog had been lifted. One enlightening afternoon, I took some time at a cafe with only a pen and a notebook. In this distraction-free environment, I wrote down my thoughts, reflected on my goals, and even did some sketches. The peace and productivity I experienced there were unlike anything I had found while using screens, allowing me to connect more deeply with myself and my surroundings. Of course, I was sometimes tempted to slip back into my old habits with my devices. However, during those moments, I reminded myself of the valuable experiences I was gaining from my newfound freedom and redirected my focus toward activities that energized my spirit. Setting limits with technology isn't about removing it entirely from our lives. It's about achieving a healthier balance and being more deliberate in how we use our time. If you feel overwhelmed or disconnected, I encourage you to try setting boundaries on your screen time. Start with small steps, like cutting down your usage by an hour each day, and gradually uncover the deeper connections waiting for you. As we dive into the profound lessons found in the Bible and the teachings of C.S. Lewis, it's important to take a moment to truly connect with ourselves, our relationships, and the world around us. You might find that stepping back from distractions allows you to enrich your life through deeper connections. Today, we wrap up our exploration of transformative teachings inspired by Scripture and Lewis's insights, which can significantly influence your life. For example, as Romans 12:2 advises, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Embracing these principles can lead to remarkable positive changes, just as I have experienced. C.S. Lewis highlighted the importance of personal development, encouraging us to take those initial small steps toward change. I invite you to explore these teachings, maybe start with one idea that resonates with you. The important thing is not to aim for absolute perfection. Instead, concentrate on making steady improvements. By taking small, manageable steps, you can achieve significant changes over time. I would love to hear your thoughts on these lessons. Please feel free to leave your comments or questions below. Your experiences and perspectives enrich our vibrant community, creating a supportive and encouraging space for everyone. If this discussion has inspired you, consider hitting the like button, subscribing, and turning on the notification bell. We have a lot of valuable insights and guidance coming your way that you won't want to miss. Also, share this with friends or family who might be looking for similar changes. It could really make a positive impact on their journeys. Thank you for being part of this conversation. And remember, small adjustments can lead to incredible results. Let's keep growing, evolving, and turning our everyday lives into powerful opportunities for self-betterment. Until next time, keep inspiring each other.